for the last of the Chaos factions. Tiny Toys Tuesdays, episode 41. I got Henry with me. He's kind of a resident Skaven player. I think George also is a pretty big Skaven player too. So
Yeah.
between the two of you. And then Camaron will be joining us later for the Slaves book. He's tied up with something right now, but he'll be on in a little bit. But the show must go on, so we will start with the Skaven index. But before that, Henry, what have you been up to?
Just getting ready for Smite and brewing as many Skaven lists as humanly possible.
Are you? Did you decide if you were? You're taking rockets?
I'm taking trolls.
Yeah. The rocket spam is obnoxious. Let me tell you what.
Yep.
It'll be nice when that gets somewhat changed because it is kind of crazy right now. I did. Speaking of Skaven, I did buy 6 more Storm Fiends. So I think I might try just an all Storm Fiends list, just because why not?
It's a lot of wounds.
Yeah, and the fact that you get to bring them back is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool that you can do that. But yeah, so I might try that just because looking at the Skaven book, it's kind of fun. As far as what I'm up to, I'm still up to the same stuff. I'm still trying to get the all of my AOS cards updated to have them ready to get printed, which is taking a long time, as well as updating the code for AOS reminders. I think I'm done with all of Chaos and Order now.
okay.
So I'm getting there. It's just a long journey, but I will get there.
I mean, the bulk of Warscrolls are done now. There's only 8 other factions left.
I know. And then the other thing too is like the AOS reminders thing is it's tough to update all like 25 factions at once, right?
Yeah.
From now on, when we get 1 or 2 factions at a time, it'll be so much easier. So just the index is kind of just it's a lot at once. But yeah. All right, let's. We got 2 long factions to get into, so let's just jump into it. Again, if you haven't gotten your ticket to Smite, get it now. I think lists are due in a week.
It's the 29th, so 5 days.
5 days. Okay, so getting close. I wonder. Hold on. Let me see what what is the updated number that we have right now.
Last I saw last night was 40.
I think you're right. Let me double check. $41, and I still got to get Eric on there. So
42.
42.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. That's the biggest one we've hosted. I don't think there's ever been a bigger one. So, pretty cool.
It'll be my first Smite too.
Yeah. So you can. Oh no, you can't go for best rookie though, because the best rookie is first GT.
Yep.
I think you were in that last year, weren't you? Or no, you did.
I was second best at Scorched Earth.
Scorched Earth, that's right. That was your first GT.
Skaven player was better.
Yeah. Missed it by that much. All right, so sign up for Smite. Tier list explanation. Again, these aren't like in-depth reviews of the armies. I mean, these have been out for a while, so I'm sure there's a ton of people you can go look at. Warhammer Weekly is one that I always recommend. So we just do what we like and what we don't like.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the Skaven Index. Again, this is my opinion. I'm sure I'll be wrong on some things that Henry will correct me on, but this is at least my take on it, right? As far as the overview goes, lots of movement abilities. Like, this is a very mobile army. There's lots of movement shenanigans. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time Skaven has recursion.
Yeah, outside of like minor clan rat recursion.
Yeah. Like just like 1 or 2 models here and there, but this is like you can get actual units back now.
Yep.
Which is pretty crazy. It makes them way more resilient than they used to be, even more than they used to be. Lots of play around castling up. There are like your bells and stuff that you want to kind of castle up around. Even the way you played against me a couple times. It was a very castle-y type of play.
Mhm.
You don't have to play that way, but there's a lot to play around that. With the use of knotholes and being able to put them where you want, makes objectives and battle tactics easy to get, which is, yep. It's nice to be able to place knotholes wherever you want. They're still on the edges, but you get to
No,
place...
it's anywhere. Anywhere on the battlefield outside of 9 inches.
Wait a minute. You can put them like right in the middle?
Yep.
Wait, I thought they still had to be on the edges.
Nope.
Are we sure? Hold on.
Yeah, I'll look right now.
You're gonna blow my mind. I don't think you can. I think it's still the edges. You're killing me. Let's see. Knothole.
Oh, it's part of the battle trait.
Yeah. Pick. Set up the sections of a knothole and more than...
Yeah.
Wait, set up a unit hole? No, hold on. Wait.
Set up a knothole on the battlefield more than 9 inches from all enemy units, more than 1 inch from all friendly units, and more than 3 inches from all objectives and other terrain features.
Holy crap, I didn't know that. Well, that makes a lot more sense on if you pass over it, you take D3 damage.
Yep.
Because that was one of the things where I was thinking about it. I was like, you would never use this ability. No one's ever going to pass over this on the edge of the battlefield, but...
Yeah. If you really wanted to do seize the center turn one, you could just do that. Place a knothole right in the middle.
Well, you got to be real careful with that because they could charge the knothole.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm saying if you're like...
oh, man, I didn't even know that. Wow, I didn't even realize. I thought that for some reason, I thought they were still... You still had to put them on the edges. You can put these little bastards anywhere.
Yep.
Wow, okay. Never mind. Regardless, with the knotholes, it's easy to get battle tactics and objectives. Man, that's crazy. Didn't even know. Look at you, learn something new every day. And then, obviously, waiting on the new book to beef up Pestilence and Eshin because they are, they're suffering right now.
3 units for both of those clans.
Well,
right
and we'll get into it, but you could only... There's a priest lord, but you can only take 2 priests currently. Yep. And they're both
you have to be
really...
willing to pay a lot for prayers.
Yes, they're really expensive. They're really, really good. But you are paying for them for sure right now. That's just because they got rid of like the plague priest on foot and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Anything else on the overview that I'm missing?
No, I mean you pretty much nailed it. Movement shenanigans, all the recursions, super nice. It's no longer hey I'm bringing in a vermin lord, but like getting half of your infantry back. That's awesome.
And like I said, like some of the infantry, like Storm Fiends, that's a lot of wounds you're bringing back.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of power. So. Yep, pretty good. So I do overall. I really like this book. I like it way more than it was for 3rd edition.
Oh yeah,
I definitely like it. There's lots of ways to play, which is going to be the opposite when we get into the other faction.
Yes.
All right, so let's go into the battle traits. Again, all these are great. Always 3 cost steps ahead is really, really good. My only issue with this is you have to move every unit again. And this can slow down your gameplay quite a bit. So, extremely good ability, but it does take time, especially depending on what you're playing, to move yet again. Like in a single turn, well, actually a single round, you can like move each unit like obnoxious, like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And it
just... remember, it's only 1 unit you get to move for 3 cost steps.
Sure. But there's also like the Pestilence move at the end and stuff like that. There's a lot of ways to move multiple units at a time, and it does slow down your time, so you just got to be aware of that. Everything else is like really good. Not being able to retreat and not get mortal wounds, very good. Again, the knothole thing is really good. Yeah, so all these are really, really good. Do you have you ever? I know you cook up lists on Skaven all the time. Do you have like a null deploy list?
You could. So
I don't know if it's very good, but it would be funny.
So my ideal null deploy list is you take 2-3 units of Storm Fiends, you drop them into their own reserve, and then you take like a bunch of Rat Ogres and a Master Molder, and you pop them out of the knothole, give them the +3 to charge with the heroic trait, and then everything just sending in.
Just heat everything in. Yeah, pretty good. Anything else in here that you want to call out? I mean, these are all pretty good.
Yeah, they're all amazing. Like especially I love the change to gnaw holes. It's no longer you put 3 down the start of the game,
Yeah.
and they're just there. You can. There's so much more
Yeah.
flexibility,
Yeah.
which just makes it all beautiful.
You got to be a little careful because again, it can get you in trouble with the counter charges. You also give your opponent some battle tactics potentially as well.
Yeah,
So you got to just be careful where you put them.
but
But
you can also use them to bait your opponent. So
correct,
like, and
correct.
I've had a couple games where it's like, oh, there's this gnaw hole not too far away. You could kill it, but it's way out of the way for you
Yeah,
from the other
you
objectives.
split up that army quite a bit if you because like as an opponent you have to like that's always in the back of your mind is like how can my opponent get to me, right? So it's like those knotholes do create some counterplay for sure.
Yep.
They're real easy to remove though, aren't they? Like 6 wounds or something.
There's 6 wounds at a 4-up save.
Yeah. So you gotta still put something into them,
Yes.
but they are easily removed as well. So. And always put one in the back of your field that's always safe, because that is how you get your units back. All right. Battle formations. These are all really good. Just kind of depends on what you're using. Obviously, you played with the Pestilence one, and I think it's really good. I just think currently in the current book we have, I just want more Pestilence, right? So
Yeah.
that's the only downside of that one. The other ones are really good. Again, you can potentially take mortal damage to yourself, but the benefits are really, really good. Even the Verminous one, add one to Rend, pretty good. I mean, these are all really, really good. It just kind of depends on what you're putting in your list.
Yeah, basically, it's just up to whatever you feel like tailoring towards.
Yep.
I think, to me, the Pestilence one, A+S, because it's very basic, but there's so much movement, and Plague Monks are the cheapest infantry per model count that it doesn't really matter if they actually just do no damage. They're just so many bodies that can do so many different things that it really is hard to like get rid of them all.
Right.
The only thing I'm kind of been iffy on lately is the Molder one. I like it. I like it a lot.
That's my
It's
favorite.
just the timing of it is it has to be in your hero phase.
I know. So like if they're in the gnaw holes or anything, you don't get to use it.
Right.
Which is a bummer. Which is a bummer.
Like the Scryer one, it's in the shooting phase, so I can deep strike, and then I can activate in the shooting phase my Scryer stuff, and then I blow you up.
I think my biggest reason why I like the Molder one is that 5-up board is really, really
It's
good.
nice.
It's really good.
And it happens more often than you think.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one that I'd be shooting for. I mean, the fact you get to do it on 3 units, too. It's so good. Yeah. And when you get that, when you actually get it on one of the units, you know what you're sending in, right? Like, or you know how to play it, play around that with how your enemy moves, right? So if like you get a 1, you're obviously not sending that unit in. So you can kind of see what you get before you make any more decisions. But yeah, I do agree. The in the hero phase kind of sucks. If you're running grinder fists or something, it kind of sucks. You can't really use it.
Exactly, but what also is if you do roll that 1 and take the damage, you're most likely taking a Master Molder, so then you just heal that all back at the end of turn.
Oh, I don't even know. In my list, I don't even have the Master Molder. But I'm also memeing the crap out of this list.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we'll just move on to heroic traits. Again, these are all really good. I mean, again, these are all just everything in this book is pretty solid. Again, all these are good. Scurry Away kind of sucks because I'm a 3-up, but it's still good. There's some shenanigans you can do with this as well. On some of the Vermin Lords that make them really good. Run and Charge for Skaven units, really good. And 4-up Ward. And what's the other benefit?
It's a pass off.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Which is good, which is fine. You put this on a Vermin Lord or something, it's fine.
Yeah. Like, I think each one is meant for a different type of hero, which I like. So, like, Scurry Away, that's going on your Vermin Lords all the time. If they get charged by something that'll kill them instantly, you gotta get them out of there.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the Skilled Manipulator, if you're running a Claw Lord on Gnaw Beast for some reason. Pretty nice to have. And the Short Tempered is just all around a great
Yeah,
arbitrary.
running charge is always good. All right, cool. Artifacts. The one that I like the most is the Warpstone Charm. That's my favorite. The heal D3 is fine. And then the other one is Foot D3. Oh, adding one to the attacks, which could be useful. It's a once per battle, which kind of sucks, but
Yeah,
I think my favorite is the Warpstone.
100%.
Yeah.
Skaven Brew, such a downfall from last edition.
Yep.
Before, you could use it every turn and just constantly be churning out attacks. But I mean, in a once per game situation, you can definitely take some use, especially with like your Storm Fiend heavy list. You prepare for that really big charge. You throw it on them.
You potentially get +2 to attacks.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. Oh, I didn't even think about that. You could do that on the Storm Fiends. Okay, interesting. Cool. So yeah, I think Warpstone, we're both on the same page. Pretty good. Nice one to save. It was really good. All right, and then the spell lore, decent. Spell lore's good. I don't think it's as good as the prayer lore, but it's still really good. Skitter Leap obviously is your teleport, which is really good.
Yep.
You can do it in combat, which is also really good. And then the Strike Last 18-inch range is really good. It is on a 7 cast, but Strike Last within 18 inches is pretty good.
Oh yeah, especially if like you get it off your opponent's turn.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer on the unlimited. It's fine. It's just 13-inch range. I'm just casting other things. I'm probably just going to cast other things.
I mean, most of the time you're either casting your Manifestations or the other 2 spells.
Correct.
And it's like, oh, I need D3 damage. Okay.
I might be able to finish off a unit. Sure. Cool. And then we get to the prayer lore, which is all just really good. It sucks that there's only 2 priests in this entire army you can take right now, which sucks, and they're really expensive. But boy, these are really good. The unlimited one, add 1 to wound, and then crit mortal is it's just like
it's so good.
It's brutal, man.
It makes
crazy.
Every unit good.
Yes. Like your clan rats now have a purpose. Heck, your plague monks now have a purpose. Like this thing, crit mortals is so good, and it's not entirely hard to get off. It's on an 8-up, right? Not on even on a 10-up.
Yeah. All of them go off on an 8-up. It's
so good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Dang, man, putting this on the Storm Fiends.
Yeah. God, if Foot Priests were still a thing,
they will be.
I don't think you'd see a single wizard in Skaven.
Well, I think you see one just for the unbinds, but like, dude, they're really good. These are really good. Bile Torrent is also really good. It's probably the best horde killer that I've seen yet so far in these books.
I think it's the only 4-up I've seen.
Yeah, it's really good. And then -1 to wound and +1 to save on an 8-up for the Rabid Tough is really good too. Like these are all really good.
Yeah.
That Filth Crest though, the fact that that's unlimited too is just it's pretty crazy to me. Granted, you're only going to be able to do this on like 2 units, but once we get the new book out, hopefully they kind of redo the priests because man, I definitely like this prayer lore. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on those?
Not much else to say. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're all
It
really
just
good.
sucks we can't really bring them.
Yep. Manifestation lore, skip. I like the Bell of Doom, but I'm taking Morbid or something else probably.
Most of the time you pick Morbid unless you're teching your list for the Bell of Doom.
Sure. Which is what you did.
Like, yeah, exactly. Vermintide, it's a big base, whatever.
I will say, oh no, it's -1 to wound. I was going to say it's really good against rock guts, but never mind. Skip.
Yeah.
And then we go into the heroes. This will be very interesting to see my take versus your take, but let's see. All right, so on here, there was no like auto includes. I don't think. I think they're all really good in their own ways. I really want to take Thanquol. I really do, but the other ones are just so much better that I don't. Not maybe not so much better, but they're just better enough to where I don't want to take Thankful. So I don't think you're going to see Thankful in a lot of lists. It's just going to be one of the other Vermin Lords. On this one, I think my favorite was the Warbringer. Dude hits like an absolute truck. Also, not on this. We'll get it to the onto the other page too. But the Warp Seer is also probably the one that I would run as well.
Yeah. So for Thankful, I think he doesn't shine in one single aspect, but he brings so much more to the table.
Yeah.
That it makes it great. He can shut off commands with his spell. That's also a horde clear. He gets +1 to cast. He's a 2-cast wizard. He hits decently hard. He has some shooting. He heals every turn. He just does a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, if you're playing for value, you gotta take Thankful. But not taking him won't hurt your list, which I like.
That's fair.
And same with like everything on here. You could run all of it and run none of it, and you'd still be good.
Yeah. I think Lord Screech is pretty cool. I like him too. It's again, he's
too expensive.
I think he's too expensive. I agree. And in the list that you're taking him in, everything's going to be expensive because you're trying to put everything in it.
Yep.
So I honestly think he just needs to come down in price, and he would be more viable.
Yeah, make his spell better. With how his built-in spell now, it does less damage because it's on a 5-up instead of a 4-up.
Yeah.
And instead of creating a new unit of clan rats, you restore one to a current unit for each one.
Which honestly, they're probably doing already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Deceiver is also too expensive. He's too swingy for me.
I disagree.
I don't know, man.
The Deceiver is fantastic.
Yeah.
13-inch teleport. So if you have a small foot hero anywhere within 13 inches
still on a 4-up
unit,
it's
on a 4-up. But then you take the scurry away.
I know.
You
get a double dip on it. I know.
Yeah.
You did this against me. I do think he's good. I just hate that it's a 4-up. If it was a 3-up, it'd be so much better.
Yeah.
And he's 410 points. He's really
He has a lot of points. I will say that. But he is also like your only in to Eshin outside of taking Master Clan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. And that's the other thing, too, right? Is there's not a lot of Eshin. Not that you don't technically need Eshin for him, but like, I mean, you do for the redeploy, sure. But, yeah, I don't know, man. 410 points for those two abilities. And I know that teleport is really good. Like, don't get me wrong. It is really, it's game-changing. It's still on a 4-up, though.
That's fair. There can be like I said, you can take all of it, you can take none of it, and your list will still be good regardless.
Yeah, that's fair. I am really disappointed in the Corruptor. He was my go-to in last edition because I liked him so much, and that dude, he would hit like an absolute truck because you got the like +3 to damage thing, and then you had crit mortals, and you would wreck anything you would go into.
It was the swingiest, I think.
It totally was, but man.
But it was so worth it.
Yeah, but once he hit, that thing was dying. Whatever you went into was dead. And also, I'm a big Pestilence fan. I'm a Pestilence fan at heart. So
same here. It's my favorite.
Yeah, it was my very first unit that I got for AOS was Plague Monks, and I didn't even use them in Skaven. I used them in Nurgle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a little bummed out on Corruptor, but it is what it is. The guy I'm definitely using though is the Warp Seer.
Yes.
I think the Warp Seer is fantastic. The fact that this guy's a 2-caster as well is amazing.
Yep. He fills a similar role to Thankful, where they're both super utility. The Warp Seer himself will probably never do damage.
You don't use him for damage. Either. It's all about the movement shenanigans and stuff that he does. Yeah.
Less 1 dice on the charge is awesome.
Yeah.
And then he's a 2-cast, so we could also make him fight less just in case they do get in combat.
Yep. Also on here, Graveseer, you're going to see him in a lot of lists, most lists, just because he's your cheap caster. And his Warpstone Shards to roll 3 dice is really good.
Yes.
I mean, it is really good. How many, over the course of the GT at Old Tone, how many times do you roll 13?
Once I think.
Yeah, so definitely
But
worth it.
definitely, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so you
if you're
take D3
taking
damage, who cares?
morbid,
Yeah.
oh wow, I can 3d6 cast the purple sun.
Yeah. Yeah, yep. Keep a note, you can only do it in your hero phase. You can't do it
Yes,
as a magical intervention, which is fine. But
exactly.
still, really, really good. This guy's 120 points, which is insane to me. I actually see that guy increasing in points. Maybe not a lot, but I do. Like that
Yeah,
spell casting is really good. Everything else on here is just kind of depending on what you take. Like if you're gonna take a lot of shooting, you're probably gonna have a arch warlock,
yeah.
warlock engineer, right? If you're running heavy Jezzails.
Honestly, if I'm taking Jezzails, I'd rather have the Arch Warlock.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yep.
it's
Same.
20 points more, but
Yep.
better covering fire, awesome.
Yep.
And he's a wizard.
Yeah. True. Very true. Yep. Yep. The engineer doesn't really do anything other than the hero sniping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Bombardier's fine.
Yeah, it's just like, do you need the cheapest Scryer hero possible? Sure.
Sure. Probably taking a command point.
Yeah.
Cool. Next one. So what I do like, I actually like the Deathmaster. I know a lot of people don't. I like the Deathmaster. I think he's good to snipe off heroes. I think he's. You have to dedicate something to him to kill him.
Yep.
So I do like him. I know like Warhammer Weekly, they did not like Deathmaster, but I liked him. He's also a lieutenant or a bonus hero, so you don't have to spend a drop on him, which is also really nice.
Yep.
Obviously, the Grace here and Screaming Bell, good, right? You're just gonna
Awesome.
use him as the center of your castle. A couple things I didn't like: Clawlord and Clawlord Anabi, just pass, just literally pass. Which sucks because the
Yeah.
Nabis is such a cool model. It's
It's
just,
awesome.
but it's so bad. The rules are
Yeah.
so bad. I looked at him like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, can I make this guy work? Like, is he useful?
Yeah.
And he's just not.
Like the control score doesn't matter just because you already have a billion bodies on the point.
Right.
I don't need to win harder.
And he doesn't do like he's 3s 4s on his attacks. Like, no, it's not good. Why would you do this? Like, at least give him 3s something. Yeah, I was just disappointed. Anything else on here? Do you like the Plague Priest?
I do. It's like we said, the prayers are really good.
Yes.
It's
one of the
and if you are going a lot of Pestilence Infantry, it still gives them that ward, and subtracting the ward from your opponents is pretty nice.
Fair.
Giving death as no ward at all, kind of nice. Deathmasters, I like them. I just think they could be 20 points cheaper.
Yeah, I could see them going down. I do really like the fact that they're a bonus hero. If he was his own drop, there'd be no way.
No chance. He's only there for.
God, that's the other thing with the Nabis too. You have to take him as his own drop. He's so bad, man. It's gonna be a no. Cool.
Yeah.
Master Molder we talked about.
Yep. I think he's better with. He's really good with the Hell Pit.
Yep.
I think if you're bringing a Hell Pit, you have to have a Master Molder. Otherwise, don't bring a Hell Pit.
Okay, fair.
Also, Rat Ogres and the Master Molder are really nice because if you hurt yourself to get more attacks, he just heals you back to full.
Yeah, fair. Okay. When does the heal happen for Master Molder?
At the end of turn.
Okay. So you do have a D and
you have to be within 13 inches of him.
Yeah. I mean, you're not healing the damage before you get hit back, probably, though.
Well, hopefully you just clear him.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, next. Camaron's favorite, which is why it's Black Starred, was the Warp Cannon Lightning, or the Warp Lightning Cannon. I like it, but dude, I'm probably just bringing 6 Jezzails.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're way more expensive than the Warp Lightning Cannon, but I don't know, man. I just, like, I was doing averages, and I just, like, it's good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's also one of those things where it does mortal wounds, right? So, like, you're just going straight past any saves, which is really good. I think maybe you run one. I don't know.
It's so if you're going, you need to bring a Scryer hero in order to activate its other ability.
Yeah, the superpower. Yeah.
But we're not really in like a meta where it's like super save stack, 2-up save. You can't kill me
Unless you're
otherwise.
you're fighting rockets.
If we got there, then sure. Bring the Warp Lightning Cannon. Otherwise, like you said, 6 Jazales will just chew through so much more.
Now, in the current meta, I might just run all Warp Lightning Cannons. Screw those stupid rockets. But yeah, I agree. Storm Fiends, the fact that you can bring these guys back is insane to me. I still can't believe you can bring these guys back.
50 points cheaper from third.
Yep. Thank God. They were way too expensive, though. They were way too expensive. Globadiers actually are pretty good. They can do some serious damage to infantry.
I'm about to try them out in a couple days, and so I'll be able to get a better read on them. I do think if you're taking them, you need to take a reinforced unit. You can't take 5.
I agree. Yeah. So there's essentially like 300 points. 260.
But they'll cook up whatever they go into.
Warblock jails, you'll see them in a lot of lists. You'll see them in most lists. They're just really good shooting.
It's probably the one auto include in Skaven.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you necessarily, quote unquote, need them. I don't know if they're an auto include, but you will see them in most lists. They're just too efficient. You
can take a winning list out of any mishmash of units.
It's true.
Jazales just give you such a bigger chance to win.
Yeah, I agree. Doom Wheels are a pass. I mean, they're okay. It's funny from like a meme perspective, but I'm not. They're okay. They're fine, but at 140 points, I'm just taking something else. Cool. Yeah. So this was a lot of this was a pass. So this is like the bad slide. Warp fire throwers pass. Rattling guns pass.
Yeah.
Doom flayers. So I looked at these. Is there like, could you like make an all Doomflayer list that could be?
So, yes.
Because like you're just doing so much mortal wounds.
You'll never find someone who has 20 Doomflayers.
That's fair. Yeah, they're really tough for sure.
Their only restriction.
But it would be funny. They actually do quite a bit of damage.
Yep.
For something that's 80 points, you're doing D3 on the charge.
Yep.
And then they're 2d6 with anti-infantry +1 and charge +1.
Yep.
Like, it's not terrible.
They will mulch a ton of infantry units.
Yeah, dude, like
they're 3s and 3s, so they're gonna go through pretty often.
Yeah. Also, I saw on Warhammer Weekly, I'm not sure the interaction, maybe you know it, but there's a way you can do something with, I think, 3 claw step ahead or something, where you can get over like the infantry and go into the back lines with these guys. I don't know how it works, but
that's with Doom Wheels, I think, not Doom Flayers.
Oh, okay, maybe it's that. Okay,
because Doom Wheels can go over.
Maybe that's what it was. Okay, but still, I was like, Doom Flayers, you could spam these and they would be maybe okay. But yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be hard to get 20 Doom Flayers.
And they're great at taking the fights.
Yeah. They're pretty funny. Is that a new sculpt too?
They're getting a new sculpt.
Okay, they're getting new sculpts. Plague Claws. I miss the old Plague Claws. I think they're too swingy for 150 points.
Yep.
So they're probably not taking them. Plague
you
Monks.
Need to change how they give fight last, because it's like on a Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. They will maybe give you fight last.
Yes, yeah, they're way too swingy. At 150 points, if it were 100 points, we'd be in business. But at 150, no. Plague Monks, we already talked about. Really good, cheap dudes. This is one of the ones that you want to get your crit mortal on, and
they explode on death.
And they explode on death. Is it on a 6-up?
It is on a 6, but you have so many bodies, you'll always get like 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
Which.
I mean, 140 points for 20 of them is pretty good.
Yeah, that's all. That's why you're taking them. They're cheap.
And then Clan Rats, they're kind of the staple infantry in the army. That or Plague Monks, but a lot of times you'll see Clan Rats because of the recursion.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to say that because both you and me are biased.
I don't know. A lot of people I've talked to have also been like, Plague Monks are just the new Clan Rat right now because they're so cheap.
I mean, yeah, they're 20 points cheaper. But Clan Rats also bring back things.
But Plague Monks feel better with the faction that you take them Like
fair,
if you take
fair.
clan rats and verminous, it's like whatever.
I think most lists that I look at currently though are running clan rats.
I've seen a healthy divide. I think it's been 50-50 for
Okay,
most.
you know what? It might be. But that being said, I mean, regardless, you can't go wrong with either one of them. They're your cheap bodies,
obviously.
right?
You have to take at least 3 of one of them.
I want plague. I just want more pestilent units. Is the problem?
Yep.
There's just so few pestilent units in the book right now that, like, yes, you can make a pestilence list and make it work, and that's fine. But I just want more, right? Like, we just have very few options.
Every day I wake up, I look at my plague sensor bearers, and a tear comes out.
Or just, what about the freaking plague priest on foot, man? Come on, guys, give me a plague priest on foot. I take 3 of those guys.
Broken.
What?
The prayers would be so broken,
dude. I would take 3 plague monks or plague priests on foot if they were
100%.
Just spam the crit mortals. All right, moving on. Storm vermin. They're okay. They're fine.
I like them.
Yeah.
If you're taking them, you're going verminous because then you're Ren 2 all the time.
Yep.
And it's just they're 3 attacks a piece.
Yep.
That's a lot of attacks.
They do die
60
to
attacks
a
on 20
though.
bodies.
They will die very quickly because they do not get the 5 up board. It's only
they don't, but they do have the best save out of any Skaven. They're 4 save.
Sure.
So if anything is gonna last, it's them. And
freaking man, this army against rockets, the rockets are just like swinging their rocks, and you just see a bunch of Skaven just go flying.
At California, whenever people were attacking my 6-up save plague monks, I didn't even ask them like
just how much damage.
I just said, "Tell me the damage. Just tell me the damage. I don't care."
Rat ogres are pretty good. They're also a good prime unit for the crit mortals. They will literally chew through
so good for crit mortals.
Hell Pit is too expensive. Rip.
Yep.
It just needs to go down. I think it'll be fine once it goes down in price. It's just 270. No, man.
I don't like the rampage.
I mean, even then,
it's another one where it's like on a 3-up, then you get a 5-up, and then something happens.
At the end of the day, it's still too expensive. Rattling Warp Blaster. Points efficiency, I think it's the best point efficiency shooting unit, believe it or not. And I just, to me, I'm going to roll that freaking 3d6 and get like 3. This is my luck. But
that's just Skaven.
But yeah, so Rattling Warp Blaster I do think has a place. They're just really expensive. But I mean, again, efficiency-wise, they are the best efficiency shooting in the book, I think.
Yes. I think if they were 10 points cheaper and their super attack ability wasn't once per turn army, I'd easily take 2.
No, they don't have a... Oh, Warp Blaster. I was looking at the Rattling Gun. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. Yep. That does suck. Because you really only can run one of them.
Exactly. You're encouraged to run 1 White Beam Cannon, 1 Warp Blaster, which is nice because you get to see a cool range, but it's like...
Yeah, that's a lot of points, though, in shooting. That's 400 points in shooting right there.
Yeah.
That being said, you're going to kill whatever you shoot at, most likely. Unless it's Rock Guts, and then you're just going to be dead anyway. I know you like Night Runners. I don't know, man. They're fine, I guess.
They are not B+. They are S+ tier. They've won me so many games.
Is it just because of the normal move? Well, no, it's just deployment. Like, what's winning you the games for these?
So you take 2 units. You put 1 on each side. They're like Furies, except they actually kill Furies. So your opponent puts like their skirmisher piece on the side of the board, like you, except you kill theirs, and then you take the flanks, and the next turn you take their land, and the next turn you take their objectives. And then they have to deal with these 2 units of just crappy 6-up save, 10 wounds total, whatever. And by the time they get to there, you've so far ahead on points, they have to really claw back.
I mean, you're right, because you cannot shoot them if they are next to the terrain features. So you do kind of have to move something over there.
And they have crit mortal.
Yeah, there's still, there's 10 of them?
10 of them for 130.
Yeah.
That you bring back 5.
All right.
Which
Maybe
is
I'll move
not
them
that
to an
bad.
A. I don't know if they're S tier. But they're probably better than B plus. I'll give you that. Yeah, they're probably fine. I think in our game, the game when we played when you had these, they died
That
so
was just a
quickly
yeah.
that
It was a
like
bad mission.
that like it didn't really like maybe that's where I'm getting my B plus from.
That's
Um,
fair.
that being said, I do see these guys in quite a bit of lists, so they obviously can't be that bad. Yeah, so Night Riders are fine. They're good. And then obviously the Nahul is really good. Very very good. The fact that it just does damage too. I mean, you probably forget half the time, but um, it does damage to anything
Yeah.
that moves over it. So that's cool. Man, I still can't believe that you can put these in the middle of the board. I just
I mean, you won't see it like ever.
true.
You still want to just put them on the side of the
I know
board,
because you spread out the
but
other army as well.
like if you need it, it's there, and it's a nice thing to have.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. That's it. Regiments of Renown. Nope. Pretty much not taking any of these. I mean, Shulgoth could be okay. It's just really expensive.
Yeah, I mean, the chaos armies that need some durability will definitely benefit from having it.
Yeah.
Like Nuge's list of beasts with it was pretty interesting to watch. But I mean, I'm personally not a big fan of Regiments of Renown. I think you just play within the faction.
I like them because you can no longer take allies, right?
Yes.
So that is nice to have. So, all right, cool. Well, Cameron's still not here, so we're moving on without him. So summary of Skaven. Again, still waiting on the new book to take advantage of the Pestilence and Eshin stuff because again, we just don't have very much in here yet. We already talked about the priest issue where you only have 2 of them and they're both really expensive.
Yep.
A much more simplified book than last time. I remember Erica wanted to try Skaven and she tried to play it in 3rd edition and it was miserable. It was just too much. There was way too much going on. This
Yeah.
definitely simplifies it a lot more. So if people that want to pick up Skaven, I think you're a lot more incentivized to do so. And we already talked about it again. Tons of ways to build lists here. Yeah, there's so many ways you can build lists. The internal balance for this book is really good.
Compared to last edition, like you had to take 3 heroes of a certain clan to really get the boost of it. It kind of was like you have to go all in on this.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can mix clans. It feels pretty good.
Yep.
There's a lot more you can do.
I gave him overall B plus. Cameron gave him a B. I could probably go to an A minus with them. I just think
As for Skaven.
What?
As for Skaven.
I know you're gonna think that. I think right now, especially in the current meta we're in, it's tough to play Skaven because it can't get through a lot of the things that are egregious right now.
Realistically, I'd say they're probably low A tier.
Yeah, that's where I was at. A minus B plus. That's kind of where
you
I was
can
at.
definitely. My list is not something to go off of. My list was how many movement shenanigans could I possibly put into
and how
a
many
list?
bodies can I get on the board?
Whereas like Matt Beasley's list, who was 1 place above me, with like the Storm Vermin, he had some Storm Fiends, he had a bit of everything, he had some Giselles. That was able to actually do damage. It was really great. I think the only reason why he went 4-1 was because he went against Camaron.
Well, yeah, and again, ogres, right? Ogres. Yeah. I think those 4 are just really obnoxious. Ogres, Rock Guts, Night Haunt, and Lumineth. Those are the 4 that are really tough, right? And even with like Lumineth, right? I played my first Lumineth game this last week. They are so fast, man. Oh my goodness. So like as a Skaven player, you can't really keep anything super safe because Lumineth's just gonna get into you, right?
Yeah, you don't really need to though either.
Well, I mean, you lose your knot holes and stuff though.
Yeah, but you're always getting 1 back of battle round if you're going first. Yeah. Like, okay, I'll say this: Skaven going first versus going second is an entirely different story.
Fair.
Because you can place down your knot hole and then you can come out of it how exactly as you wanted without having to worry about, oh, will this survive a turn of my opponent trying to go after?
Fair. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I could probably move my thing to A minus. I definitely think they're 3-2-4-1 territory. I think you can get 5-0 with them. You just have to have the right matchups.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, so cool. All right, we're moving on to Slaves. A completely different book. Don't get me wrong here. I do like Slaves, but they have a incredibly bad internal balance problem, and it's really bad. Especially from a competitive standpoint. If you want to take Slaves from a competitive standpoint, you're only ever going to see the same things, which is really bad from an internal balance perspective.
Yep.
There's way too many Warscrolls in this book. There's way too many. Some good things, right? Eye of the Gods rework is it's so good. It is so good. It was much needed.
Yes.
The way the last third edition Eye of the Gods worked, it was it was one of the things where we talked about it. On a Tuesday at 3:00, you might get an Eye of the Gods roll. Like, it was really bad. Yeah. So Eye of the Gods reworked much better. And then they are pretty good at scoring just because they're hard to shift. So when you get something like Warriors or something like that on Chaos Knights onto a point, like, they're really hard to shift. And the new terrain feature is good, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I think they just play good Warhammer. They don't try and cheat you too hard.
Yep.
They sit there on objectives and they hit you.
I think of them very much like a Stormcast type army. They play very fair for the most part.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say they're just the new Iron Jaws.
Yeah, with the current book they are, and we'll get into that. Anything else from an overview from Slaves?
Ask me what a Chaos Chariot does, and I don't think 9 out of 10 people could not tell you. There's just too many models.
Yep. And then we'll get into the Darko thing. I know there might be play for Dark, but they're bad, man. I'm sorry, they're just bad. Yeah. They're trying to play the too many bodies game, and they just don't do it well.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into the battle treats. So, like we said, you only get 2, and they're both really good. The issue is, so let's start with Eye of the Gods. Really good.
There's actual options now. It's not 12 random options and 2 of them are good.
Right. You basically just want a 3-up on your Eye of the God roll. Anything on a 3-up and you get something really good for it.
Yeah.
And it happens after you kill any unit, so this can happen. Now, granted, it can only happen once. Oh no, each friendly. No, yeah. So any Slaves to Darkness hero that kills a unit gets to run it. It says once per turn, but it says each friendly Slaves to Darkness, destroyed enemy. So you can do it on any of them. They can't be a beast, and they can't be non-hero monster. But
I love that the ward, if you roll it again, you're not punished for it. You actually just get a better ward.
Yeah, and there's actually ways you can trick this. So there's a couple ways where you can get, for instance, this is just one way. There are many ways to do this. But Oracular Visions gives you a ward, right?
But that's a 5-up.
Sure, but that's fine. The thing, the trick of it is, it gives you a ward. You kill something with that. You roll. You get a 4-up or you get a 6. You get that ward forever, and now you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, it says specifically if it already has a 6-up ward.
So you
can't Oracular Visions to get it.
The target has a ward of 6 for this battle. If the target already has 6-up ward as a 4 to 5-up. So you get a 6-up ward. You would get a 6-up ward then.
Yeah.
The other way you can do this, the better way to do this, is use the Chaos Warshrine.
Yeah.
Which gives you the bubble of 6-up. Then you roll it. Now you get a 5-up, and now you don't have to have the Warshrine next to you. So there are little ways to trick that. I don't know if that'll be FAQ'd or not, but kind of gimmicky. It's kind of.
Well, you see, the thing is, then you'd have to take a Warshrine. You're punishing yourself already.
I know. It's its own drop too. We're gonna talk about it. All right. The other thing too is the Market Chaos. Market Chaos is really good. The issue with the Market Chaos, you're only ever gonna take 2 of them.
Yep.
You're gonna take Nurgle or you're gonna take Khorne, and that's about it. You're not gonna take any of the other ones. Yeah. Maybe Slanesh, but I doubt it because the way you're gonna play this,
you don't need to anymore.
You don't need to. Right. Exactly.
They gave you
So
the 3d6 charge.
here's the start of our internal balance problems. This is just one of the issues, right? Where you have this great ability, but you're only ever going to use one or two of them. Like the other two are the other three of them are garbage. Four of them are garbage. Undivided's okay. It's fine. Oh no, it's against a hero monster. No, you're always going to take Nurgle or you're always going to take Khorne. That's just
Like,
the ones
unless
you're
you're playing against Gargants 6 out of 7 times, you always take.
Yes, and Nurgle's
Khorne
really
is
good.
Nurgle.
It's really good. And the fact that this book's already tanky, like Nurgle's just you're just stacking it up.
Yeah.
All right. Battle formations. We continue the internal balance issue. These are all garbage. All of them. They are all terrible. I could see despoilers if you're taking like heavy demon princes, but you're not gonna do that probably.
Yeah.
And then Ironclad Onslaught is the one. The God's Wrath Warband is the one you're probably gonna take. Half the time you forget about it. So
it does nothing most of the time.
Yeah. So these are all bad. It's bad. These are bad. I don't know that this was the best they could do here. I mean,
yeah, it was a big
good.
departure from thirds.
Yes.
Like, thirds had so many good battle formations.
Yeah. These are unfortunate. It just makes me sad inside. Anything else on these? They're just bad.
I mean, there's nothing to say because they don't do anything.
They're not good, man. They're not good. Two of them are you have to deal with like Dark Oath, and you're not ever taking those. But anyway. The heroic traits. Deathmonger's garbage. I mean, once per battle, maybe. I don't know who you're putting this on. Radiance of Dark Glory is fine. It's good in like a heavy monster list, potentially.
Yeah.
I'm probably just taking Favored of the Pantheon. But even then, it's not great. These are just like so-so. It's like they're okay. I don't know. Which one are you taking?
Honestly, probably Deathmonger. Because...
Yeah, but who are you putting that on?
That's the question.
Like a Chaos Sword on Demonic Mount, maybe? I mean...
you go full meme and you take the Manticore Lord.
The Carcadrag.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I do in 3rd edition. Because 3rd edition, they had the same problem. The heroic traits were like...
You could put it on a Demon Prince, I guess. I mean...
Like, there's some spots, just the spots aren't great because we want named characters.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I think it definitely suffers from Slanesh syndrome, where all the named characters are amazing, and there's nothing to put the actual stuff on.
I would agree with you on that. Continuing our bad internal balance problem, artifacts are bad. The only one you're ever going to take is Infernal Puppet. That's whenever they cast a spell, it's D3 on damage on, which is really good. It's really good. 24 inches is really good. Now you're only doing it on one of those wizards, so you can't pick, but you can't pick multiple. You can just do it on one. But the other two are bad.
I think the Conqueror's Crown's all right. You're already taking objectives anyways, so it's like it's whatever. Like I liked how it was last edition, where if you use 1 or 2 wounds, you don't get to contest objectives. Just like how brutes are now, but now they just kind of took it away.
Yeah, I still think I'm taking Infernal Puppet. I just don't like the other ones. I just don't.
Yeah.
It just makes me sad.
Everyone's gonna have a wizard, so you're always gonna have some use for it.
Yeah, especially now, right? Cool. The spell lore. Kind of the same thing we were talking about. You're only going to ever cast one of these, and it's really, really good. It's definitely one of the best spells it is the best spell in the index, is Demonic Speed. It is super good. The fact that it is no longer cavalry for just cavalry, it's for anything, is really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's obviously the one I'm casting every time. Burning Damnation's fine. The problem with it is it's 12-inch range.
Yep.
And the Smite Tongue Curse is bad. I mean, I'm sorry.
It's just not good.
So Jed played this, and every single time he cast Smite Tongue Curse, it always blew back in his face. It's just bad, man. It's not good. It is not
That's
good.
also a Jed thing, though.
It
Let's
is
be
a
honest.
shit thing. It is something that... Oh, I lost Henry. He'll be back. It's just bad. It's just... It's so bad. I don't know why it does that. It kicks you off sometimes.
Oh.
But yeah, Spike Tongue Curse is just bad.
Yeah.
Good upside, very bad downside. Or I guess an
think
easy
the good
downside.
the good part about the spell lore is it lets you focus on casting your Morbid Conjuration.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about anything else. Just worry about your endless spells, for sure. Which go to your endless spells. Yeah, we're just going to pass. These are all really bad. These are all really not good. I'm giving them a B, and that's being generous.
Yeah.
They're not very good. You just take something else.
I don't think I've ever seen them either.
I don't think I have either. I don't have them. I definitely don't have them.
I don't know anyone who does.
They're just not good. Sorry, Slaves of Darkness players, your Manifestation Lore's garbage. Thank God there's other ones. Alright, let's get into some of the rock stars, though. Let's start off with Archeon. I think Archeon's great. I think he's really expensive, but I think he's really good. I still think the Eye of Shirian, or whatever it is really good. And you can definitely win you games. This dude is a nightmare to take down. 25 wounds with 3 up, 5 up. And you put him in Nurgle, like, he's really tough to kill.
Yeah.
So real good. I like him. And then obviously my favorite one on this list is Be'lakor. Does Be'lakor things. He is super, super good. And we'll just in a game where battle tactics mean so much right now, being able to deny that is really good. The one downside with Be'lakor is it no longer stops spells. So that's the one downside, but...
I mean, he's a 2-caster, so you only need to cast one spell, and that's Demonic Speed. So you're always banishing something with the others.
Well, I'm just saying to the Dark Master, like, unless you... Because you have to do it at the end of their hero phase, so they're going to be able to cast all their spells. So you don't get to deny that anymore. But it is any ability now, so that's still really
Rampages.
good. Yep. It's all really
pretty
good.
Big.
His Rampage is also really good. Speaking of Rampages, in the enemy phase, being able to strike first, really, really good. Yeah, I think these are all really good. I think you're going to see more than others, obviously.
Yep.
Chaos Lord and Demonic Mount is actually pretty good if you're running heavy Knights or Vanguard. Giving a +1 to wound is really good.
Yeah.
Eternus is also annoying. I want Eternus to work because I really like that model.
I want Eternus to be cheaper.
Yes, he's 230. He's too expensive. Way too expensive for what he is.
Especially if you're trying to bring him with Be'lakor. That's 640 points out of your army.
And Eternus isn't doing a whole lot other than coming back a lot.
He's just a roadblock. That's all he does.
Yep. Demon Princes are actually useful, so that's good.
Yeah.
I
think their melee is really swingy.
Yeah, I agree, and I think they're not as good as something else that you're going to take for that 280 points. That's the problem.
Yes.
But they are useful. I like them. There's other things in the book that are better. Anything else on here?
I mean, Archeon, you can actually make competitive lists that will go 5-0 with him, right, as he is right now. If you make him cheaper, that might not be a bad idea, but I don't think it's great. I like where he is at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get cheaper. I think he'll stay right where he's at. He's already a nightmare to kill. Like, if you're playing against him, you have to dedicate a lot of resources to kill him.
And being able to double turn with the Eye of Shirian and still pick a battle tactic.
Yes, very good.
So nice.
And with this army, it's really good knowing, oh, my opponent's going to get the turn? Okay, well then I'm going to make sure I play it more defensive. Oh, I'm going to get the turn? Okay, I'm going full send, right?
Yep.
So it really is good. Cool. Moving on. Gaunt Seminar Disc is garbage, too expensive, never taken it. Okay, this is where you start the internal balance problem.
Yep.
Manticore pass. Chaos Lord of Manticore pass. Chaos Lord pass. The fact that dude's his own drop is bad. Gaunt Summoner I can see. 2 casts is really good for 170 points. And being able to move your units up the board is really good, like your Chaos Chosen and stuff. I really like the Gaunt Summoner. I think he's fine.
Yeah, a foot Gaunt Summoner is awesome.
Yeah. Gaunt Summoner on
Uh,
disc, 250 points. Get out of here, dude.
I think Sorcerer on Manticore has a little bit more play, but it's still, like you said, compared to everything else, it's just garbage.
I did say the my little smiley face for the Gaunt Summoner on disc. Good against Rockets.
Yeah.
Too bad you're never taking him.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it's bad. Moving on. Again, a lot of these are just like they're okay. Like Karkagak is fine. It's 250 points though. Never gonna take him. Too expensive.
Yeah.
Chaos Sorcerer's fine. He's your cheap caster with the Oracular Visions, which is good. The rest of them are kind of a pass.
Yeah.
The Myrmidon's nice for.
I like it.
If you're doing like hamburger meat lists, right?
It's actually a unit now.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's a bonus.
Yeah.
And it's just Therodons themselves got turned down.
Yeah. Therodons are really good. They're really good. I think Therodon lists are still acceptable.
I think they've got play. I just think compared to last edition, where you just take the great axes, and who cares? I've got a lot of health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is there's just better ways to run Slaves to Darkness, right? And that's the biggest problem. That's why the internal balance is so bad. Is the lists that people take. I mean, if you want to be competitive, those are the lists you're going to take. You're not going to take any of these other things.
Yeah.
Because they're just so good. Moving on. Okay, here we go. Dark Oath garbage. Pass. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of
Centurion
them.
Marshal actually does something now as well. So, I mean,
yeah,
cool.
He's actually like I said, him being a bonus hero too. Like he's actually, you can actually talk about him now. Like,
yeah, I don't think I'd ever seen one before, but I think I might see one now.
yeah, I agree. I think Dark Oath War Queen's actually pretty good for her points. I think for 140 points, she's really good. Abraxia, powerhouse, awesome. Dude. You taking Vanguard? You're taking Abraxia.
Such an upgrade,
dude. Thank God, because it was such a cool model, and Jesus,
they definitely were thinking about her with fourth in mind.
They had to have, because they did her dirty in third. But yeah, she is for 360 points. She is a powerhouse, man. She is really good. Yeah, everything else is garbage. So yeah, let's just move on. These guys are not good.
Honestly, never heard of them.
They're new, so that might be part of it. But I will say, the Oathsworn Wizard spell, the one that you have to take with these two, is actually decent. It's a 5 cast, -1 to attacks, which is good.
Yeah,
which is notable.
It's not bad.
But you have to take all of them for 280 points, and it's just
It lets your 20 block of nothing take a hit.
Yep. Now, I will say, on the ride back from California, we were looking at these guys. There's a Regiment of Renown with these guys.
Oh.
And these are really good. Well, maybe not really good is the right term. These guys can be good in Khorne. Because one, you get a wizard.
Yeah, it gives them casters.
You give them a caster, so now you can take another Manifestation Lore, which is cool. You get the -1 to attacks, and you get more Blood Tithe, because you're just yeeting these guys in.
Does it let you pick a second Manifestation Lore?
Well, you always get a...
Well, because you pick one Manifestation Lore, right?
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's Priest or Wizard. You can only pick one?
Correct. Yes. Is there a way that you can... Yeah, I think you only get to pick one Manifestation Lore.
Because it's not like a separate type of lore.
Correct. Yeah. So you would only get one of them. But at least you have the option to do that if you ever wanted to bring
that's fair.
With how Manifestations are now, it might be useful, but it's currently the only way I know that you can get a wizard into Khorne. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So that's it for the heroes. So we jump into the non-hero stuff, and again, a lot of this stuff's going to be internal balance problematic. Vanguard, great, super good, super good. I actually think they're a little overcosted. Maybe by like 10 points, maybe. And the only reason I say that is like, look at all the other cavalry in the game. that are a lot cheaper. I don't know, man. They're good. Vanguard are really good. At
I
the end of the
think
day,
the
they're really good.
the only way to make people not take Vanguard is to make them more expensive. Because if they're 310 or cheaper, there's no shot you will not see only Vanguard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For 6 of them, you're paying 620 points. It's a lot of points.
Like, I'd pay 700 points for 6. That's about it, though.
Okay.
You make them 350. Make it so you only want to
You think
take
they're gonna go
6.
up in points? No way.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna go up in points.
No one's taking anything else. They have to do something about Vanguard.
Chaos Knights are really good right now.
They're great, but they're not Vanguard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing that Vanguard struggles
I can
with.
currently take 60 more points. I can just take Vanguard instead of Knights.
I mean, they're
Way
both really good.
They do different things, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Knights, I think, they don't hit as hard, I feel like, as they used to. But they're also so much more durable. Especially in this edition, keeping the 3-up save, being able to go to 2-up with all defense on 4 wounds. So you're telling me I got 40 wounds with 10 models?
Yeah, no, and they're tough to shift. They're really hard
Yeah.
to shift.
It's just they don't hit.
They're not a slouch, man. 30 attacks, charge plus 1 damage, pretty good.
Okay.
2 rend.
But compared to Vanguard.
I mean, I think they both fill a purpose. I mean, obviously Vanguard are going to hit like a truck, right?
Yeah.
I can see both of them. That the issue I have with Vanguard is any like porcupine units, anything that's strike first, is problematic for them because they don't get strike first. They get to attack twice, but they don't get to strike first.
But neither do Knights.
True. I guess it just depends on the list you're running. Like obviously, if you're running Vanguard, you're gonna bring Abraxia. So you're not gonna bring Abraxia for Chaos Knights. But I could see you run Chaos Knights with Archeon because again, Archeon's too expensive, right? So,
or Bellicor.
Bellicor's another good one. Yep. So it just depends on what you're running.
Yeah, they're definitely. I think it's like Vanguard list, Chaos Knight list. It's just very.
It's one or the other. Yeah. And I think in like Chaos Knight list, you're gonna see Chosen. You're gonna see Chaos Warriors. You're gonna see stuff like that.
Yep.
We talked about Therodons. I think these are really good.
Make them cheaper.
They are 200 points, and you think about it, 3 rockets are 170 points. I don't know how we're in this game right now.
Make them 160 at least. They were 150 in 3rd edition.
I don't know if 160. That might be too cheap.
They used to be 150.
Yeah, but they weren't the same.
And then they were still not really seeing much play.
I don't know. I think 160 is too cheap. But it's just crazy to me to think, like, you have 170 point rock gut units that...
Yeah.
And then you look at these guys and you're like, where did we go wrong here?
The other thing is, I don't think you take Therodons unless you're taking 6. Whereas rock guts, you can take 3 and you're happy.
Yeah, you're really happy because it takes 3 turns to kill them.
Yeah.
Soul Grinder, 330 points. What exactly am I getting for 330 points? 330 points?
Model.
Like, okay, sure, you can yeet this guy into the other army, but like 330 points, man? Get out of here.
For 330 points, you can pretend like you're playing 40k.
Chaos Chariot, pass. Gorebeast Chariot, it's a better chariot, but pass.
Yep.
So we'll just move on. Chaos Chosen, absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
They're probably one of the best infantry in the game, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Minus rock cuts. Okay, let's just get that out of the way now.
They're not infantry. They don't.
Oh, rock cuts aren't. No, they're.
They are. No, they are.
But they're not. They are, but they're not.
They're in my mind, they're monsters.
In my mind, they're garbage. They just throw them in the trash can. Until that stupid book gets figured out. We haven't even done a show. Hopefully they fix Gits by the time we do a Destruction show, because once we get to the Gits index, it's just going to be me ranting for about I don't know,
Yeah.
3 hours of just how shitty rockets are.
It's 15 minutes of index, and then the rest is just you ranting.
Yes, God. You know what's sad too? Gloomspite Gits is my favorite army.
Oh, they're
out
awesome.
Out of all of the armies, I picked up Gits, and it wasn't for the rockets.
Just for the squigs.
It was no, it was for spiders.
Oh.
I've always wanted to run spiders. Now, granted, they're still garbage, but
Yeah.
they're you had one chance, GW, to make them good, and you still fucked up.
They're probably going in the trash. I hate to say it.
But I bought I have they're not built yet, but I have 3 or 4 spiders, and big spiders, and a bunch of spider raiders. That was the reason I bought that, and the squigs. The squigs were the second half of that. So don't get me wrong, I love Gits.
Oh yeah, no, they're my favorite aesthetic.
But right now they're trash, and it is the most unfun to play against. Yeah. But anyway, moving back on to this book, Chaos Warriors, you're going to see them in most lists.
Yeah,
I put them in
if you're not going Vanguard.
Yeah, if you're not going Vanguard, you're going to have Chaos Warriors in your list. They are extremely hard to remove. They are really, really hard to remove. So you're definitely going to see those. That's kind of the staple in this army, I would say, is the Chaos Warriors. If you're not running just all Vanguard. Chaos Bond doesn't do anything. Pass. I'll just take the CP. Knights. I still like Knights. I still think they're really good. They're really hard to move. Muto Vortex Beast. It's fine, but for 190 points, I'm just spending something on something else.
Yeah.
I do think the Vortex Beast is usable. I do.
Oh yeah.
But I just not currently. I think there's just too many other good things that you're just not gonna take it.
Still no Zinch version yet, which is kind of sad.
That's weird, right? You would think.
It's so weird.
Slaughter Brute, way too expensive, but it is a decent infantry killer. Let me go with the Slaughter Brute. What was his profile? Where is he? There he is. Yeah, 8 attacks, 4 2s, 2 random infantry, 2 damage. He's fine. You double the amount of mortal wounds inflicted if you do the rampage thing, which is cool. And then he's got the 3d6 charge, which is fine. I mean, he's okay. It's just 240 points, man. I'm just going to take a unique hero.
I will say it's 14 wounds. If you wanted to tar pit someone for a while.
Yeah.
Right, like 2 turns, sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's fine. It's just, he's expensive. That's my biggest problem with him. Chaos Legionnaires pass. I mean, sure, they've got a good ability, but 90 points for these guys on a 4-up for their ability pass. Anything else on here?
No. Yeah. It's just miscellaneous.
Yeah.
Chosen and Knights.
Yep,
That's it.
Chosen and Knights on this. Chosen,
and Warriors.
Chosen, Warriors, and Knights is all you're looking at on this.
Yep.
Alright. Okay, so let's talk about this. Raptor X pass. Chaos Furies. Really good. Really good. You'll probably see these in most lists. They are absolutely impossible to kill. They just will retreat, and then retreat again, and then retreat again, and they'll just take points off of you. Yep, you have to have shooting in order to kill these things. These things are really good. For 100 points, these things are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm taking 2 of them. Mindstone Sphinx.
I liked it.
It's okay. It's fine. But good against infantry heavy armies. I think it's just. I still think it's probably just. I think it's still too expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe at 150, I'd feel better about it.
I think
at 150, I'd buy it.
I'd take one.
But right now, probably not. Crusher pass. Wilderfiend pass. Dark Oath Marauders. I mean, they're not bad for 100 bodies. Or for 100 points for 10 bodies. They're not bad.
You're probably taking 100 bodies.
Yeah, probably. They're okay. They're fine. I like that I'm just going to use my old Marauders as Dark Oath Marauders, so that's cool.
Yep.
But probably pass.
Why does the Fomeroid Crusher exist? What does it do?
Crit 2 hits, D3 damage, it's fine, but it's
like
150 points. And it's only one, right? You only get one of these.
You only get one, and it's
Yeah,
just
dude.
the goofiest thing. Like,
And the terrain feature ability is really bad.
I don't know
Uh,
why it was
the fact
created.
that you roll for your own units too. Oh, he's so bad, man.
It's awful.
Like you could have made him cool, right? You could have made him like,
Give him the Myrmidon treatment, and I'm happy.
yeah, he is really bad. Yeah, he's probably going into like D class. Like I don't know what use he's there for.
I haven't found one for 2 editions.
Poor guy, he's just hating it. Um, pass, and pass. If I do take Marauders, I'm taking Savagers over Marauders because they're a little bit better. But
Yeah.
pass. We talked about the Osworn Kin.
I think Wilder Fiends are alright.
You think Wilder Fiends are okay?
I think that you're just taking them if you're going full Dark Oath.
I know.
So
We'll
they're
get
going to
to
have
that.
some synergy.
We'll get to that
It's
in a
just,
second. But
that's the problem. Hey, Camaron.
oh, we got Camaron just in time for us to end the stream. You weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, best
Hi.
time.
Well, you can go over the overview on what we've gone through. We're on the best part of the book, Dark Oath garbage.
I don't know what you're talking about. Dark Oath is amazing.
Do you think Dark Oath are good?
No.
Okay, great. Next is Chaotica.
I want them to be good.
Me too. I do too.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're good. Next is Chaotica is a good terrain feature. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's actually really good.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too.
No matter what it is.
It's
just-
like 90% of the time +1 to cast. Sure.
And then on a bonus, you can do some crazy damage to terrain, to things around a terrain. It's pretty
You
good.
can pretend you're Seraphon for a second.
Yeah, just the +1 to cast by itself is good.
Camaron, since you're here,
Mhm.
and we're getting to the Regiments Renown, what do you want to go over anything in the Slaves book? What are your overall thoughts on the Slaves book?
I think Skaven is Skaven by itself. I'd probably give I'd say an A+ to an A.
Oh, you gave it a B minus.
I need to change that because of.
Oh no, you gave it a B. You gave it a B. I think me and Henry both.
I said A.
He said A minus. You said A minus.
Yeah,
Don't get
A
out of
minus.
here. Get out of
A
here.
minus is an A.
And I said B plus, and then you said B, which I think we're all close. I think you're probably going up higher on them now.
Yeah. So the thing about Skaven is that they are very physically weak. Like they die pretty fast.
Yep.
However, they are so good at tactics,
Yeah.
just
Yep.
across the board, that I think that it bumps them up pretty good.
Yep. They have movement shenanigans all over the place.
Yep.
You can bring things back for the first time. Like really good.
It's just the constant bringing things back and everything on it. And it's just like there's nothing your opponent can really do, especially like if you take first. Like, oh no, I automatically get everything I wanted. There's nothing you could do.
Exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, that's
First turn
exactly.
Skaven versus going second Skaven, completely different playstyle.
So-
100%.
So I think we're all in agreement that Skaven internal balance is really good.
Yeah, I would not say it's an S because it
it's
is
Skaven.
squishy.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying from internal balance, like with the Skaven book, there's so many units, all of the formations, the battle traits or heroic traits, the artifacts, everything. There's not like an auto include, right? Like there's so many different variations. Like there are going to be bad units in the book, right? But for the most part,
Yeah, that just happens.
yeah, but for the most part, the internal balance of the book is really good. It's when I think of internal balance, the first thing I think about is it hard to make a list? And to me, it's hard to make a Skaven list because I want everything.
Yep.
Right. So
Yeah, that's
so that's what
Sounds about right.
that's what I mean by internal balance. So
Cameron, what would you give Night Runners?
oh god, here we go.
Night Runners. Is that the 10-pack or the 5-pack?
10-pack.
I love them.
All right, yeah, okay. I know
I think they're
good. I
easily-
just-
Easily A. They won't. They do their job exactly how you want them to do
correct.
their job.
I agree.
And
Okay.
they're cheap enough for you to put them in any list.
The only reason I didn't like them is because they were bad when I played against Henry. That's the only reason.
Still, but You say that against everything.
I know.
So
Okay. Well, great. All right. So that's your Skaven take.
yeah, just again, those Night Runners I think is one of my favorite units. It's just you can't build your entire army off of them.
Nah.
But they will definitely they'll do work no matter what you do.
All right. Then we go into slaves. What is your overall take on slaves?
I think they're. I'd say B plus to A. It would be my ultimate.
I don't remember
my
what you
ultimate
gave them. We
grade.
haven't got to that slide yet, but we'll go over it. My biggest
Give 'em
thing.
an A.
My biggest thing is we go from Skaven to having fantastic internal balance, to we go to slaves who have awful
100%.
internal balance. Because you're only ever going to take 4 units, and like one of the unique heroes, whether it's Bellicor, Abraxia, Archeon. What's the other one? I'm missing one of them.
Like, I don't think you'll ever go 3 drops with slaves.
Yeah. The problem with slaves is that they have some units that are just so good.
Yep.
That the other units just
garbage.
don't matter.
And some of them are like garbage. Some of the other. Okay, tell me what the purpose is. Well, I'll ask the same question Henry asked.
Okay.
What is the purpose? What is the thing called?
The Fomoroid Crusher. What does it do, and what has it ever done?
The Thomoroid Crusher. All right, let me bring up this.
The weird blue ogre dude who like has a boulder in his arm.
And he's by himself, right? He doesn't he's just one.
He's just on his own. I think for 2 editions he's done nothing.
Where is this guy?
Less than nothing. He's just been.
How many? And he's 150 points by himself. By the way.
Yeah. Let's see.
He is.
I'm trying to find him right now.
It's under monsters.
He is really not good. I'm surprised I gave him as high as I did. He needs to be.
They actually made him better this edition.
And he's still bad.
I still have yet to find anything.
All right, let's see. For 150 points, you get a D3 range attack.
That won't hit.
It's 4 up to it. It's better than trolls. But it's only one model, right?
Yes.
Yep, one model.
Right. Never mind. It's not better than trolls.
For 20 points less than 3 rockets.
Yep.
Can you believe that? Think about that for a second. This thing is 20 points cheaper than 3 rockets. That's insane to me. Okay, but that's not a Fomoroid Crusher problem. That's a rocket problem.
It's also a Fomoroid Crusher.
It's both. It's both.
So the Fomoroid Crusher has one use and one use only, and that is for you to go ahead and just put him in the midfield. You don't want him to actually be in combat, even though you think he's supposed to be in combat. You just put him in midfield around a
terrain feature.
Around a terrain feature, just so you can do the rampage.
And then hopefully you don't kill yourself doing it.
Yep, and that's it.
It's so stupid.
You will not take him for his points.
You won't take him at all.
You won't take him ever.
Yeah. If he was, I'm sorry.
I don't care how good terrain is.
I'm sorry.
I'm never taking him.
If this dude was 100 points, I still wouldn't take him.
If he hit like a rocket, maybe.
I'd take him for 80 points.
Okay,
No.
80 points, maybe. And that's like
50.
a maybe.
50, so I could bring like 700 of him.
Yeah, but
Would
I'm
you
not
take
taking
him?
I'm taking the Mindseer's Pharynx.
Would you take him?
Yeah.
Or a CP?
No, I'd take him over a CP.
I'm probably taking a CP, I'll be honest.
Just because his damage happens before combat, so...
Sure. On a 2-up, maybe, and you might hurt the rest of your army. It's fine.
Position your army better.
You could hurt yourself more than your opponent.
Yeah, you could. You could.
Position your army better.
Okay. Yeah, so,
Oh, yeah, but my go-tos for this.
yes. I know you were a Mind Stealer Pharynx and obviously Chaos Furies.
Yes, Mindstealer's Pharynx is just really good. Awesome. It's one of those sleeper ones that will destroy your opponent and he won't realize it.
I think it needs to go down 20 points and I buy in. I think it's too expensive.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It is a little bit too expensive. It's at a point right now where you'll never take more than one.
I saw one in California. It looked like it did pretty good.
Yeah, like it does work.
It's really good. I just give me 20 points off and I'm buying in on it. Right? I just think it's too expensive. Just barely.
My go-to is Be'lakor. Be'lakor is absolutely amazing.
Fantastic. Yep.
Awesome.
Like, I think he's probably one of the best units in this army.
Yeah, I would
Um,
agree with that. Well,
It's just because you get
Vanguard.
you can get strike first.
Yeah. Well, strike first. You deny a battle
You
tactic
deny
a lot of
seize
the time.
center.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, Be'lakor is the staple.
double
He's really good.
spellcaster. Like,
There's
and everything he does, he'll just make everything around him stronger.
Yep, I agree.
Daemon Prince is useful. I agree
It
with
is
that.
useful. I think it's useful. I just think it's hard in the current meta to take it other than something else. That's my only problem.
Agreed. Why would you rather take a Daemon Prince when you could take Be'lakor?
Or Abraxia, or insert any of the
Eternus?
other ones. Eternus has its own problems.
Eternus is too expensive.
He's too expensive. Eternus is a good
Yeah,
round.
I fought Eternus, and you can get him pretty
Oh
decent.
yeah, he can get good. It's just, am I paying 230 points for it?
Demon Prince or Eternus?
Demon Prince is 50 points more than Eternus. That's saying something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'm probably taking.
it is not an auto include at all.
Sure.
but
No.
Yours is good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Gaunt Summoner on disc.
Garbage. Pass.
Good
He
against
ha-
Rock Guts.
He has his use because he's the one that can bring people in. The
Yeah,
No,
but
that's,
you're-
and that's regular Gun.
Yeah, but you can do it with a regular gun.
Oh, that's the regular. Oh
They
yeah,
both-
250 points for the disc. Get out of here. There's no way I'm paying for that. Nope.
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, the Gaunt Summoner with that silver tower is pretty
Really good. Gets,
170 for a 2-caster.
yep, and you can get your chosen in line or your warriors in line.
Right.
Honestly, it's great to take with Abraxia because she's not a caster, so you need a caster, and then there's a cheap 2-caster.
Yeah. All of the monster guys, they're decent, but why would you take them when you can take any of the named guys?
Yep.
That's my only problem with them. Is just your named things are just so much better.
Yep.
The Chaos Sorcerer Lord is just
Good.
super good.
Yeah,
just take
he's
one.
good. He's
Yeah.
a cheap-
Oh no,
cheap
you
one.
have. There's a chance you have a 5-up ward on one of your really strong guys.
Cool. Now let me cast Purple Sun.
Yeah. For real.
Because you're not casting anything else other than that, or your
Demonic
demonic
speed.
speed. That's it. You're not casting anything
Mhm.
else because the other stuff's garbage
Agreed. Demonic Speed is probably one of the better spells.
in the
And
game.
only
honestly.
because they made it so anything can happen.
Yeah.
If it was
Yep.
still cavalry only, I doubt
It's still good. It's still good if it's cavalry only, but the fact that it's not. Is
Oh no,
really-
Varangard have 3d6 charge. Oh no.
Well, yeah. If Vanguard weren't as prevalent.
And Varangard have always been prevalent.
And they always will be.
Which they should be.
Yeah,
I mean-
they're the elite cavalry.
They do what they're meant to do.
Yep. I wish the Chaos War Shrine. I wish there was a prayer like.
Well,
lore.
and
I
the
wish
fact,
it wasn't a main hero.
yeah, and you have to take it
Agreed.
as a drop, and you're never gonna do that. It's
Not when you
worth
have
it.
such the good stuff that you have.
Right.
I wish it was a monster and not a hero at all.
No,
Okay.
I just wish it wasn't a hero. I'd be more.
I think they
into
want to
it.
get away from non-heroes being spellcasters or prayers.
Sure, fine.
Gaba
Yeah, I was gonna say Gaba. They broke that rule.
Yeah, but we already know how good gits are, so.
Don't get me started. I already spent like 30 minutes. talking about rockets.
Yeah, half the Slaves
Um,
review is just talking about Rock Guts.
Or how I compare them to rockets.
Oh yeah, you compare everything to rockets, and
That's because they're
it
so
just makes
dumb.
me
It's
sad.
like, hey, I'm Games Workshop. I'm gonna make these 3 rockets 170 points. I don't know why, but I'm gonna make them 170 points.
Let's see the next one, the Dark Oath Heroes.
Garbage. Sorry, they're
They have
garbage.
their use.
I'd have to experiment with Dark Oath.
I've seen some
they're
things
just-
that you could do with the Dark Oaths. Like they definitely have use.
Yeah.
I
They're
think
just-
they're a little bit too expensive to make the Dark Oath only army, but that is about it.
They're just not as good as taking a list with warriors or chosen or something. They're
Yeah.
never gonna compete with that.
Yeah, you have to.
But they're not meant to. I think you play
They
them in a different play style.
Yeah, they're a completely different play style. Is what they
You have to play them like my Skaven list.
Right, it's bodies. You're doing it via bodies, but I still just don't think they're. If I'm playing bodies, I'm playing Skaven.
If they went down maybe 20 points each, I think they would actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because then you could fit in like 4 more units.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just slightly too expensive, and I know the reason why. It's because all the other things that aren't expensive are super good, and they don't want you to swarm the board with bodies and super units.
Because I mean, it's always a point value, right? Like, if you lower points, you get to that threshold where people just start spamming stuff, right? And that's where they don't want to get to, unless they're rockets.
Yeah, they're great. Varangard. Varangard is probably like the best unit in this entire army.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. It's expensive, but you're going to be getting all the worth you can out of that.
Yep. Pretty much everything that we said.
Orgrimmar Therodon.
I think they're still fine.
I think they're too expensive.
Yeah, I just...
They used to be 150. Make them 160 now. They
Agreed.
hit way less. Once per game, they hit about the same.
Also,
one less red.
I know I keep going back to it. I know you're here for this, but they're 200 points, right? Rock Guts are 170 points.
Yeah.
Do you see the problem?
Rock Guts should be more than 200 points.
Yes.
Rock Guts should be 4 wins again.
That would help, actually. That would definitely help. I don't
that'd piss off so many people, though.
Whatever, dude.
I mean, it's the same durability across 3 bodies as a Leviathan.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. That's just crazy.
Except they can heal.
And come back.
And come back, yeah.
It's so stupid.
Soul Grinder, too expensive. Chaos Chariot,
pass.
Never
if you want a filler, I guess.
No,
but
pass.
No.
Come on, Camaron, pass.
There's just so many other things you can put in this. Let's see. Chaos Chosen.
Awesome.
A+. S tier.
Yeah.
I think make them 10, 20 points cheaper maybe, and then you'll see a lot more chosen lists than you will Vanguard.
Oh no, I see Chaos Chosen right now. The
I do
only
too.
the only thing stopping them is how good Varangard are.
Yeah.
And
I've
I
only
think-
seen 1 10 block, I think maybe once.
I've
because
seen
what you see is
multiple.
you see Varangard, and then the only thing, the next tier up is Chaos Chosen.
And Knights.
And Knights.
Chaos Chosen destroys Knights. The only thing that Chaos Chosen does not have is that it's not fast. But guess what? You have a 3d6 charge.
Yeah.
You have
And
it put
the
I
gods
down.
up there.
I do
You have
think
the
Knights
guns
have
on
their purpose, though. I do
Oh,
think
definitely.
Oh yeah, Knights are I think one of the best pinning units.
I do too.
Agreed. The best damage is Varangard, and then we have Chaos Chosen, which is the second best damage.
Yep.
Because
And then Chaos
those
Knights,
Chaos
and then
Chosen
Warriors.
will delete everything they touch.
Yep.
Let's see. Chaos Warriors. Oh no.
They
20
couldn't kill
wounds out
20
of
plague
3.
monks, funny enough.
They're not there for damage. They're 20 wounds.
No, the
that
chosen,
you-
I'm saying.
Oh, the Chosen? That's fair. They can kill. It's mass.
They have
wounds they'll a problem with.
weird spikes.
Yeah.
They're still really good, though.
Yeah.
Agreed. Chaos Warriors.
Really good.
20 wounds for a 3-up save.
Awesome.
Staple in most slaves.
And a
lists.
-1 to wound them in
Yeah.
melee combat. Like, oh no.
Their +1 attacks now is if they contest, or if they control it, or if they're contesting the opponent's control.
It's contesting an objective you control.
You control. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
Still
So they
really good.
flipped it.
Yeah, I mean, all you're doing is you're doing exactly what you need them to do. Sit
Sitting
on a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't take them to charge your opponent and kill them. You take them to sit on that point and
But I
make
mean-
your
I
opponent
mean,
go.
With a
Oh,
5-inch
God.
move, I hope.
Even with them being an anvil, right? Like, they're still hitting pretty good.
What are they? 2 attacks, 3s, 3s,
Two
-1?
attacks, 3s,
Yep.
1/1, auto wound, and then you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
plus
that's not
+1
bad.
attacks are now 3 attacks each. Like,
Yeah.
they're really good.
Yeah. They are probably what all infantry should be based off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're probably one of the best infantry in the game.
Yeah.
Even at that point value.
Minus rock guts.
Rockets are their
brutes.
own. Say that again.
Brutes.
Brutes are good too.
Yeah, brutes are pretty decent.
Because they'll shut off warriors' control squad.
Brutes are more damage. These are more anvil, right?
Yeah.
Well, so even if the brutes don't kill, what I like is they just turn off the other infantry from contesting at all.
Fair.
Chaos Spawn
Pass.
doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. This isn't Zinch. Go back over there.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Chaos Knights, they're hard to just kill.
Yep, hard
Yeah.
shift. Yep.
4 wounds. Whew.
For 250 points, you get 20 wounds at a 3-up save. That's pretty fast.
Yep.
And when you charge, they will do decent damage.
I mean,
You're
3 times
don't
on these
even
threes,
need to.
2 rend, 2 damage. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
like they do pretty decent damage. They're not even there to do damage, but man, do they still do it on that charge.
Yep.
Monolith Vortex Beach, meh.
It's okay. It's fine. It's too
Not
it's too
so much.
swingy. Needs to be cheaper. It's too swingy for 190 points.
Slaughter Brute, I'd rather just have 5 chosen.
Yep.
Fair. Yeah. Yep.
Chaos Legionnaires, they're so cheap, but
Pass.
meh.
Are they 5 or 10?
Legionnaires are 10. No,
think
they're
they're-
8.
Yeah, they're 8.
Oh, what the?
Because they're a weird warband.
Yeah. And I don't think you can reinforce them either.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's a big
Because, like-
pass then. That's even more of a pass.
Yeah, like the
let's
only reason
see.
you'd bring them is to help a turn is shut off command abilities.
Which is
or
good,
command
but
points.
90
But-
points.
The only reason why you choose them is because you didn't have enough points for Chaos Furies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were sitting
that's
at
exactly-
1910
that's
and
exactly
just needed
what
a
it
little
is.
bit something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you use it, and that's about it. Raptorex,
Pass.
just even the Chaos Legionnaires are better than them. So
Chaos
Just
Furies,
say
though.
something.
That's where it's at.
Chaos Furies, hey, look at that! Like one of the best screening units in the game.
Yep.
Not only
Good
just screening, but just getting objectives.
They do
Yep.
the Night Runner thing pretty well too.
Your opponent will be incredibly annoyed the entire game.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mindset of the Phalanx. We already went through. I like it.
Yep.
I like it a
Good.
lot.
I think it needs to go
Just
down in like 20 points,
couple
and then
points,
I'm a
yeah.
buyer.
We already went through the Crusher, the Wilder Fiend.
Pass.
I like
Alright.
Wilder Fame.
I like the Wilder Fiend a lot,
You
too.
guys are insane. 190
Uh,
points. This is 190 points.
It does need to go down points. I will agree with that.
Yeah,
This
like
is
all the
almost-
other Dark Oaths.
this-
it's
this-
just a little bit cheaper.
This is almost as much as 10-pack Chaos Warriors. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The thing is that like the Wilder Fiend you use as a tech piece. That's its entire point. Like in a Dark Oath, in a Dark Oath type of play, you take like 2 or 3 of them, and like you could do some surprise work with them.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not using it.
Marauders, cheap 100 points.
Yep, that's what we said.
Yeah, like
They're just cheap bodies.
yeah. Do you want bodies that will survive slightly longer on a point than Chaos Furies?
Marauders.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need.
I just wish the Wilder Fiend was able to recycle like it
Yeah.
used to.
I think that would put it way up. All right, and we go to what? Darko Savagers.
Which are better than Marauders. I'd rather have Savagers.
Yeah, they're just 30 points more.
The crit mortals are pretty good, though. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Oh yeah, Crit Mortal's awesome.
Fell Riders.
Pass.
They're fast. Like if you're going all Dark Oath, like they're fast.
These are 150 points. I'm just gonna take something else, probably.
The entire thing is going through like their region army of renown.
Yeah, which we'll talk about. We'll talk
Yeah.
about.
Like that's what they're used for. And the Oathsworn Kin, way too expensive.
I do like that. We did talk about this. The -1 to attacks
Yeah.
is nice, though. That spell
Yeah.
is really nice, but not
Agreed.
for 280 points.
It's
It-
also not meant to be played in slaves.
Sure.
Mhm. And then Nexus, it's just good.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
my god, it's just good.
Which is good. Cool. Now you're caught up. We're caught up.
All right.
So now
We're
we
caught up to
go
real time.
over Regiments Renown. It's just gonna be a nope.
Yeah.
Nope on everything.
Just there's nothing
Straight nope.
here that you want.
All right, now we go to
Like-
Armies of Renown. I actually think the Swords of Chaos isn't terrible. My only issue with it is the amount of actual models you have on the board for this is really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it-
how many
it's-
Vanguard units are you running? 3, 4?
3 and then a hero probably, and that's it. That's
Yeah.
about all you're gonna be able to run.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. The actual Army of Renown is not terrible.
I like the older rules of it.
I don't even remember the older rules. I mean, there's some good stuff here. I mean, +1 to rend,
Yeah.
mortal wound. Like you get a D6 mortal wound ability, which is pretty good. 6-up ward's fine. 2 to movement characteristic is good. Like, it's not bad. I mean,
I mean, the 6-up ward, if you hit the Eye of the Gods,
you
becomes a
can't
5-up
you don't
ward?
get the Eye of the Gods.
Oh, that's right.
You don't get the
Yeah.
Eye of the Gods. You don't get the mark, which is the big bummer, right? It's the big
Yeah.
downside.
Oh yeah, the Eye of the Gods, like one of the best abilities in the game.
Yeah. Oh my God, the rework of that,
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Super good.
Awesome.
It was so bad, the last one. Henry and me were talking. It's like on Tuesday at 3:00, when the ice cream truck drives by, you might get this ability.
Yep.
It's just bad, but it's much better now. Cool. So probably not taking the Swords of Chaos, but it's okay.
Like I can see people taking it. It's just I think it's a more flavorful Slaves to Darkness if you're going to be doing the Beargarden list and all
Yeah,
that.
it's like something you bring to like casually play with other people.
It's a
I think it's
casually
still
very good
okay.
army.
Yeah. I still think it's okay. And then we get to Travis Snow Peaks, and I think it's bad.
I like it.
I think it's too hard to get enough sacrifice points.
It's
Or what do you call them? The oath points. I think it's just too hard to get that.
if all the heroes went down 20 points, which is only like 4 or 5.
Yep.
And maybe the oaths went down 10. I think this would be an incredible army.
Yeah, Dark Oath Marauders should definitely be the same points as the what's it called? The 8 Legionnaires.
If you did those 2 small changes, I can see this going way up.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
And for all those people who bought a crap ton of the Dark Oath boxes,
They'd be happy.
this is the one for you.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for Armies Renown. So we go to the summary. So overall, not much in the variety here from a unit's perspective, right? Again, the internal balance in this book is really bad.
Yep.
A lot of the
Really bad.
like very few of the units are good, and a lot of the other units are bad.
See, I don't think that the units are bad.
I think it's
that-
points.
I think agreed. I think it's just there's some of the units that are just too good.
Right,
think
that's what I'm
one,
saying.
maybe-
like
One,
very-
maybe 2 point changes from now, we'll see a lot more variety.
We'll
Yeah.
see. I still think you're gonna see the staples. I think Vanguard, Knights, Warriors, and Chosen are gonna be your staple.
I agree that we're going to see that for a while, but give it like 1 or 2 point changes, as Henry says, and there's going to be a huge
We'll see,
shift
we'll see.
because
I
I
hope
bet
there
you
is.
they're going to want Dark Oath to be a thing
Because they want to
they've
sell
been
the
trying
boxes.
to for so
Yep.
long. That I think they have some play.
Okay.
It's just they just need a little bit of a rework.
At the end of the day, I hope that does happen, because again, I want this book overall to be good and not just 4 units. Again, very elite army. As far as like the units that are decent, right? Like obviously Dark Oath aren't elite, but lots of decent monster heroes to take advantage of. Like we said, Abraxia, Archeon, Bellicor.
So many.
There's so many.
So many
ones.
good ones.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great army for newer players, because there's not a whole lot of mechanics, and a lot of your ability just comes from the scrolls themselves, and they're all
Yeah.
really good. So
You need to learn like 2 or 3 tips and tricks, and then once you learn those 2 or 3, then
Yeah.
you have a decent army.
yeah,
They
I
just
mean,
play the game.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the battle traits aren't hard to remember. Like it's real easy. The like
You don't use them.
the battle traits. The
battle trait.
yeah,
I
the
thought
mark-
you were saying the rogue traits.
No. The herd traits are garbage. You're only ever going to take the ones that we talked about. But the battle traits are real easy to remember. Like most of the units that are elite only have 1 ability on their scroll, so it's really easy to remember. Like,
One ability, and it's a really good ability.
right,
And it's usually once per game.
yeah. Whether it's fight twice or What did the chosen get? Fight twice.
Fight twice.
The Baron Guard, fight twice.
Those two get fight twice, and the warriors get the +1/+2 attacks. Like, real easy stuff to remember. So that's why I think this is a really good book for new players. Overall, I rated it an A. Probably, yeah, I give it an A. Just flat out A.
As they stand right now, I'd give it an A.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be point changes,
And that might increase them to an A+.
and we'll see how that goes.
Sure.
They don't have enough variety to give it an S.
I 100% agree.
Yeah,
100%.
I'd say B+. They played the game really well, but against any army that has some cheats here and there, they can fall apart pretty easily if you don't know how to like navigate your way out.
Sure. I think a lot of the units can stand on their own, though. Like, I think...
Like, being able to get tagged out of combat really hurts their ability to go in, run around, charge, and kill everything.
Fair.
And, like, if you don't know how to, like, keep your spacing and everything, it brings out more player expression, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
Also, they lost run and charge, which hurts them a lot.
Yes.
3d6 charge is still really good, though.
Yes, it's awesome. It's just one less mark you take.
So let's go through the journey so far. So this is what we have so far through Order and Chaos as far as our faction rankings. Really, the only ones that we were still kind of split on, Camaron, I think I was bigger on Sylvaneth than you were. I was bigger on Maggotkin than you were. KO is relatively the same. We still think some of the best armies are Lumineth, which obvious.
Just their variety.
Yeah.
They have a toolbox for everything.
Everything else is really like bees. Yeah, I think we're pretty close on these. So then, as far as like what's next, I'm hoping we can do just a full death show.
Yeah.
Where we just get through all the death. The problem is me finishing the PowerPoint. Because I got to go through 4 armies for this, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm hoping I can get that done.
Yeah, good luck.
Really easily. S.
I mean, Night Haunt is... Yeah, we know the Night Haunt right now. Cameron knows.
That could be an hour-long spiel by you, Joel.
No, Night Haunt, I actually... Okay, well, to be fair, I haven't played Night Haunt yet, so I don't know.
Come on over.
Let's let that
okay, great. Yeah, great. That makes me feel a lot better. They can't be more oppressive to play against than freaking Rock Guts, okay?
They beat Rock Guts.
I know. Don't get me wrong. I know.
So, all right. So, I'm currently playing Night Haunt. I think playing against Night Haunt is funner than playing against Rock Guts.
Thank you. I can see that.
Yes, because you feel like you have a chance.
Yes.
You don't really, but you feel like you do.
It's a false sense of worth in yourself.
Yes. Whereas Rock Guts, you literally I posted on our Discord. It's like me banging my head up against a wall, like literally not doing anything. I'm like the entire game, I am not doing anything.
Yep.
It took me. I played Lumineth this last week, Camaron, and went up against Jed's 15 Rock Guts. And it took me 3 turns to kill 3 Rock Guts. Like, I just don't...
Yep. What'd you play?
I played... it was kind of a mix of stuff. I did take out his Trug turn 1, which was pretty fun. It was pretty funny. I had 10 Wind Chargers and Severith, and they just melted Trug. He just died.
Yep.
That sounds about right.
And that was about the only thing I killed. And then from there... Jed just pushed in and got into all my stuff, and just I couldn't kill his Rock Guts fast enough.
Yep. I played Lumineth, and I barely won. They're just so hard to kill. It came down to the end of the game for me, and I was just like, all right, there's a 6-pack of trolls, and that's the only thing left on the battlefield, but I can't do anything against that.
I will say though, I think Lumineth are really good. It's just Rock Guts are obnoxious right now. They're just too point efficient. But I really liked Lumineth. I really liked that army. Man, Severith, is a G, dude. That guy is
It's
awesome.
crazy.
I love that guy, dude. He is
So
awesome.
good.
That's why I'm getting a Lumineth army. So
I really well. If you do, I want to borrow some stuff.
I might start getting into it because I have like a bunch of the named characters for some random reason, and that's it.
I'm
So I was
missing.
like,
I'm only missing some of the things to make my list decent. Like I only have 5 Dawn Riders right now. I want more.
do you have Lyrior?
I do.
Thrall?
I do
Okay.
have Lyrior, which also might be my new favorite model in the game. That dude looks awesome.
Yeah.
He is badass looking.
Which one's
The
Lyrior?
named Venari region.
Yeah, the named
okay.
dude. Like he looks awesome, dude. That guy looks
No.
so sick.
It's all about Eltherion, man.
Oh yeah, no, Therion's badass too.
Ethereum's
He's,
awesome.
I think he's too. I'm not using him on my list. I think he's too expensive.
Agreed. He's too expensive.
But he is
I
badass
love the
looking.
model.
He is
Yeah.
Have I told you about the stupid thing that you can do with terrain?
Yeah.
With him.
Wait.
Oh yeah, we talked about that on the way back from California.
What can you
It's so
do with terrain with him?
So because terrain doesn't need to be 9 inches away from your opponent, from your opponent's zone, it just needs to be in your zone. If it's a map that's completely half and half, you can put the terrain just outside of your zone if you know you're going first. With Eltherion in your zone within 3 inches, Hero Face, put it in, run the terrain feature forward, and then drop Eltherion off.
You
and then
can't
Eltherion
run with the
charges.
terrain feature.
No?
No, because it has a move character of 6, but you can't use an ability on the terrain feature, just like you can't with manifestations. It's the same reason why you can't run with any of the manifestations.
Oh well. Oh no.
So it's a 6-inch bump.
It's still 6 inch, yeah. And then
It's still a
yeah,
free 6-inch movement,
yeah.
and then you just drop them off and then you
yeah.
charge.
The fact that you can get in and out at the same turn is dumb.
Yep.
That terrain feature is a fucking riot, though. It is hilarious. It's,
It is
it's
very hilarious.
It's so good.
I was moving it around on the board, and Jit's like, "How stupid is this?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. It's fucking so dumb."
My favorite thing is taking the terrain feature and putting it on top of another terrain feature.
I mean, yeah, you can.
It's like the Death Star just looming towards you.
I will say that terrain feature is miserable to transport. Oh
Oh,
my
yeah. It's
God.
huge.
Well, and it doesn't sit up. Like, it's so wobbly. It has no good base on it. So it's like,
Yeah.
thing wobbles all around, all over the place and just falls over. Ugh, it's just a pain. But
Anyways, this is our Luminous show.
I know, yeah, I know. Yeah. Wait, which one we've already done? All right. Anyway, so, yeah. So we will see you guys next week. Hopefully, doing all the death.
You're crazy, man, if you want to do all of death.
We'll see.
Like I get that Flesh Eater Courts is like a 20-minute show, but
Soulblight will take a minute.
That's the
Soulblight
only
by
one. That's the
itself
only one
is
that's
so
long.
long.
OBR's super tiny too. There's like 6
Yeah.
units. But yeah, we'll see how much I can get. But yeah, the next show is definitely death. That's the one we're gonna get into, which is gonna be pretty crazy. And you being a Night Haunt right now, you'll be able to speak really well onto it.
Don't worry, I have all death.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
the death
you're
stuff.
you're the big death person. So
Yeah. Even though I haven't played death in a while, I still collect and I still make lists for them.
all right. Anyway, we will see you guys next week. And have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.